Building passive income as a truck driver. How does one build financial wealth while working as a truck driver here in North America? Watch this video and I will give you a few great examples of passive income and some options that you should consider. In a recent poll I've conducted with over 45,000 truck drivers, 54% of the drivers who participated in the poll said that they do not have a passive income. So out of 100 drivers, only 46 drivers have passive income. And here are what these drivers are doing. 25% of them are investing in stocks, 13% of them have rental income, 5% have an online side hustle, and 4% receive interests from savings. With the way the trucking industry is currently going, we have a very bright 18 to 24 months ahead of us. Should we start planning ahead now? In order to receive gains in 18 to 24 months, these great times are not going to last forever. So first, let's talk a little bit about what is passive income. Passive income is income that requires minimal labor to earn and maintain. It is called progressive passive income when the earner expends little effort to grow the income. In other words, it's money that is not directly tied to your time. The only way to make money is to provide value. Passive income can be a great way to help you generate extra cash flow, whether you're running a side hustle or just trying to get a little extra dough each month. Passive income can help you earn more during the good times and tide you over if you suddenly become unemployed or even if you voluntarily take some time off. With passive income, you can have money coming in even when you pursue your primary job. Or if you're able to build a solid stream of passive income, you might want to kick back a little. Either way, a passive income gives you extra security. And if you're worried about being able to save enough of your earnings to meet your retirement goals, building wealth through passive income is a strategy that might appeal to you. So let's kick this video off with 5 prime examples of passive income. These passive income streams are more geared towards truck drivers. So example number 1, let's start off with rental income. What is rental income? This is income you earn from renting your property that you own or have use of. You can own property by yourself or with other people. Rental income includes income from renting a house, apartment, rooms, space in an office building, or other real or movable property. Investing in rental properties is an effective way to earn passive income. So let's take Bob here as an example. He purchased a property in Rochester, New York for $400,000. He put 25% as a down payment in his home, which is equivalent to $100,000, and mortgaged out the rest of it for 30 years. His mortgage payment on $300,000 is approximately $1,500 a month. He rents out the top 2 floors to a nice family of 4 and is receiving $1,750 per month, and he also rents out the basement of his home for $700 a month. He now has a passive income of $950 per month. If this is appealing to you, where should you start? Consider starting small in rural areas. Because of the lack of competition in rural areas, property prices are lower compared to those sold in urban areas. Also, there are fewer restrictions on rural property developments compared to urban properties. Most important, you can consider buying a rural property for your long-term goals. So now we've talked about rental properties. Let's get into example number 2, which is stocks. A stock, also known as equity, is a security that represents the ownership of a fraction of a corporation. This entitles the owner of the stock to a proportion of the corporation's assets and profits equal to how much stock they own. Units of the stocks are called shares. So let me just explain that. You as an investor own shares in a company, so you're able to buy stocks. So let's talk a little bit about tech stocks. So Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, these stocks, you can own shares of these companies by buying their stocks. So what stocks should you look at investing into? So we're all in the trucking industry and we see these same names over and over again. Whether it's Landstar, Old Dominion Freight, JB Hunt, Knight Swift Transportation. When we finish talking about stocks, I'll show you what stocks I own in the trucking industry and why I chose these stocks. But let's get into a little bit of electric trucks. These trucks are around the corner and they're going to be coming out. So why not own a fraction of these companies? Can you imagine if we would have owned Apple or if we would have owned Microsoft 10 or 15 years ago, how much money we would have now and just investing $5,000 or $10,000 in these companies 10 years ago? So let's talk a little bit about electric stocks like Tesla, General Motors, Nikola. There are a lot of companies right now working on electric trucks, and there are also a lot of companies working on driverless trucks. I mean, these companies, they're not going anywhere. If we would have bought these shares of these companies 2 years ago, 3 years ago, imagine how much money we would have had now. And also the great thing about stocks, whether your budget is $500, $1,000, or $10,000, you can purchase at any price any one of these stocks. So you can own a fraction of these stocks and you can own a full share of these stocks. So something like Apple, something like Microsoft. Guys, let's take my example of my stocks that I own. Okay, I own a couple of stocks. Primarily, I bought them about 2 months ago. And the reason that I chose these stocks is because I knew that our trucking industry is booming and there's going to be record-breaking numbers. So here's a stock that I chose to purchase, Old Dominion Freight, and I bought it literally about 60 days ago. I put $37,000 into the stock. I bought these shares at $372 Canadian per stock. Today, they're worth $352. So you can see over here that I invested 37,250 something stocks for 100 shares of Old Dominion Freight. Well, guess what? Old Dominion Freight went up 20%. So literally in 60 days, I made $7,473. Now, again, we're all in this industry and we know what's happening to trucking. So this is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to passive income. So here's a second example of what I own. So Knight-Swift Transportation. I purchased the stock. I spent 31,000 Canadian dollars on this stock. I bought 500 shares of Knight-Swift Transportation. Again, it didn't do as well as Old Dominion Freight, but I'm still up 17.26%. So I made on my investment $5,482. Again, this is literally in 60 days because I knew what's going on in the industry and I knew that these companies are going to post record-breaking numbers. So what's going to happen to their stock? They're going to shoot through the roof. We're all in the trucking industry and we all know what's happening out there. We know that the next 12 months is going to be record-breaking numbers for everybody. So why not get a passive income because we know this information? So guys, the last thing I'm going to mention about stocks is that you're always able to take a loan against stocks. Okay, so what I do, just like in the Old Dominion Freight, just like in Knight-Swift Transportation, approximately I own about $60,000-$70,000 worth of stocks for those companies. When you are in a platform like RBC, like TD, or one of the bigger banks, they will give you an automatic loan up against those stocks. So if I own $70,000 worth of shares for those two companies, the banks will automatically give me an extra $50,000. So to do whatever I want with that money. Because I own $70,000 worth of stocks, it's an asset and the banks will give you money up against that asset. So again, you don't have to start big. You can start off with $1,000. You can start off with $2,000. But over the course of the time when those stocks are going to be worth 30, 40, or 50,000 and you want to transition into buying property because that's a little bit more expensive, you can take a loan up against your stocks to buy the property. It's unbelievable. You just need to know how to do it properly. Now, we talked a little bit about rental income. Now we dabbled into stocks. So let's get into our third topic, which is having an online side hustle. A side hustle is a way to make money outside of your 9-to-5 job. It allows you to make more money that'll give you the freedom to pursue your passion, buy things you need or want, and lower any financial worries. An example of a side hustle is selling a product on Amazon, starting an online store, virtual assistant, or becoming an affiliate marketer. So example number 4, start your own YouTube channel. This is something that I do with my team, and it is really easy to start up. In reality, you can take your phone, film yourself, and upload it to YouTube. So is it hard to make money on YouTube? No, but first you're going to need to reach 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours. YouTube will then start paying you for the ads that it puts in the beginning or in the middle of your videos. So just from my own example, it took me 5 months and about 45 videos to get monetized. It takes me and my team about 10 to 12 hours to produce a video. So are you going to make money from day one? No, but is it something that you can do gradually? Yes. Once I got monetized, I made $2 to $3 per day on ads. But now, about 2 years into it, we're approaching 50,000 subscribers and the channel is making between $4,000 to $5,000 per month on ads on Google Ads. So pick a niche, make informative content, create tutorials, create sponsored content, and you can start your own YouTube channel. Now, it's very important that you note that I did not create this channel in order to make money. In reality, with 2 full-time videographers, a scriptwriter, and the actors, we're actually in a deficit of about $7,000 to $10,000 every single month. So why do we do it? Because I wanted to unite North American drivers and share my knowledge and try to filter the crap that's happening in our industry. Once we're going to get to 250 to 300,000 subscribers, then we're actually going to have a voice and we might be able to implement some change in our industry. All right, guys, example number 5, purchasing a second truck, the moment we've all been waiting for. At a certain point in your career, you're going to reach a plateau with your truck as an owner-operator, as a lease operator, and you're going to think of creative ways on how to make more money. Well, is buying a second truck a good example of this? Is this a passive income? Yes, absolutely it is a passive income. And it can be very lucrative if done properly. I'm sure you're all asking yourselves, how much money can I make by investing in a second truck? So we do have a couple of owner-operators here at the company that have a second and a third truck and solely are doing it for passive income. So when an investor or our driver would like to purchase a second truck, this would be called passive income. I'm sure you're asking yourselves, how much money do they make? For that, you're going to need to subscribe to the channel, because the next video I'll be working on is going to show you their 15-day pay statement. Is it worth it to invest in a second truck? Only you're going to be able to decide. What kind of returns can we get? Is it a high-paying return or a low-paying return? Well, guess what? These owner-operators and these investors have allowed me to share their pay statements in these videos. So stay tuned, subscribe to the channel, and in my next video, I'm going to show you what these guys make as passive income owning a second truck. In closing, it's no secret that passive income is one of the most talked about and sought after element in personal finance. And for good reason. From building massive wealth to escaping a paycheck to paycheck lifestyle, passive income can have an extremely positive impact on just about any financial situation. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Ronen, R-O-N-E-N, and thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.